You asked me to do one more thing. You asked me to say, what kind of church did I want us to be? Well, no, I haven't quite, so I do it now. I properly apologize to all who were hurt by those words in the manual for soldiership. But I want to read you some words I wrote, about a decade ago. I delivered them at a Christian conference. There was applause in the audience of about, the congregation of about 5,000. But next morning, a senior Christian leader verbally attacked me in the parking lot to tell me that I had brought the gospel into disrepute. Well, these are words I still stand by. I do not withdraw one of them. And I read them to you as I wrote them. What kind of church do I want us to be? I dream of a church which declares and demonstrates the extravagant love of God. A church that loves with the abandon of a hippie on a summer afternoon at a 70s music festival. A church that loves with the passion of someone who has just fallen head over heels in love. A church that loves with the devotion of a mother besotted with a newborn child. A church that loves with the commitment of a couple like Margaret and me, celebrating their golden wedding anniversary, who still can't believe their good fortune in finding each other. I dream of a church that welcomes all kinds and conditions of men and women without reserve or qualification. A church in which Tom and Liz, who've never seen the point of a marriage ceremony, are loved more than where they are judged, and where a change of lifestyle is not mandated by law, but modeled by people just like them who know the lifelong marriage. I dream of a church in which couples like Tom and Kevin, or Maria and Christine, are welcomed and are never told that their relationship dismays us and disgusts God, but they're told how much their Heavenly Father delights in them as his greatly loved children. I dream of a church in which together we learn that we're all a work in progress, a church in which we acknowledge that we're all fallen and that none of us is perfect in our sexuality, a church in which God is gradually and painstakingly restoring his image in all of us. I dream of a church that is truly God's pilot project for the new humanity. A church in which every man and woman and young person is valued for who they are and encouraged to become all that God calls them to be. A church in which everyone knows that grace is unconditional. God accepts us as we are, but a church in which everyone also knows that grace is uncompromising and that God will not stop until he makes us all he wants us to be. A church which, by the quality of its corporate life, makes people who look and long for that same quality of life say, I'll have what they're having. I dream of a church that is utterly, truly, madly, hilariously, tearfully, and winsomely committed to bringing Jesus Christ to the world and the world to Jesus Christ. A church whose concern is not how to escape from the world and get to heaven, but so to engage with the world that we bring heaven to earth. A church in which prayer and passion and practice mesh together so that God's kingdom will come and God's will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. What a dream. What a hope. What a church. You better know it will cost us everything. But to borrow the words of George Scott Railton, it will cost us everything, but it will be the best bargain we ever made. And when I'm tempted to think that it's a delusion and not a dream, when I'm tempted to lower my sights and settle for something else, I will say to myself and I will say to others, then in the blazing heat, in the battle's blazing heat, when flesh and blood would fail, I'll hold my nerve and still repeat that Jesus and the inclusive gospel will never, never fail.